to the degree that you can tell. Some kind of monolith problem, big ball of mud problem. Let's talk about that. And while we wait for the answers to trickle in, because we do have a little bit of delay, Adrian, what is a horror story from your experience? You work with small medium businesses. You like cloud native. You know, that's sort of your middle name. Cloud native and small and medium business and tight coupling go together.
Let's say I don't need to talk about, let's say, other companies. I stay just with my own experience in this case. And for the majority of time, we worked with monoliths and quite old stuff like IIS web service, Apache web service, a mixture of PHP, C# and all this kind of stuff. And actually it was, as you said, a big ball of mud. So there was basically all punched into one web server, which was capable of running several languages next to each other. It was horrible, coupled with several databases. And the horrible part of that was this big, this ongoing stagnation. So it's actually something where you cannot move anymore as a company. So you wait for features for ages, and this puts stress upon the development, stress upon the business, stress upon everyone. And the only way you get out of this, is by slicing it, and try to get every slice somewhere else and try to run it in some form of isolation. So this was the basic idea several years ago, to just say, okay, instead of, building new stuff upon that, to actually get something running, we need to migrate that to something different. And then was the point where we basically work towards a solution. And then, as you said, which is my middle name, is Cloud Native. That was just a way for us to migrate slowly but steady into containers back then. And we hosted the containers in the Cloud Native way. And step by step, we got out of this mess, and it's still ongoing, actually. So it's nothing you do in just some weeks or months. Because if you build, let's say, 10, 15 years of software, you just don't migrate that in 1 year. It's basically not realistic. But this was our horror story. So basically, it endangered the entire business. So this is what I would call it. And if we wouldn't have made it, let's say, or started it several years ago, I think it was 5 years ago already, then we would probably be already, out of business with actually that kind of business branch we still have. And yes, this is what I can tell about that. And Cloud Native is actually, Cloud Native was not the solution. Cloud Native was the target, where we wanted to go with. But the idea was to basically decouple everything. So when we, speaking about going from tight coupling to loose coupling, you need to decouple. So actually, this is, the action you need to do. And this was done by a Strangler Fig migration pattern.
One of my favorites as well. Ironically, a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
So, but that's, we have coaches.
Do it step by step, one piece after another, but you let it run both at the same time. And on some point, your old legacy system basically disappears, and it's going in one motion. So there is no stop and stuff like this. It's quite interesting. It's complicated, but interesting. But once you're inside, you don't want to go back anymore, because you are in motion again.